The Cleveland Browns celebrity, Shedeur.
They getting it.
Welcome back to another episode of the Last Call podcast, where we bring the latest in sports, news, and entertainment. Not always on the same show, not always in that order. I'm Johnny. This is Lee, and let's get into it.
All right, Johnny. You know how we do it every night. What you drinking?
A little Tito and cranberry.
Oh, I see that pink juice over there. Today I got a little Crown. I wanted to celebrate with the salted caramel.
What about that though? I haven't looked into that one yet.
That was pretty sweet. It's not my forte anymore because I'm into this bourbon life. But sometimes when I want to settle down, I get a little Crown. Yeah, I hear that. What we talking about today?
All right, man. We got to talk about this Shedeur Sanders. Man, it was a heck of a last few days. Hell of a roller coaster. But as y'all saw from the clip there, they are enjoying themselves. Finally got the call.
Sound like they was at church praising God for that 5th round selection.
You just praising God as they got selected. They've been like, man, I gotta be an undrafted free agent.
If Shedeur Sanders had to be an undrafted free agent, it's gonna be some NFL lockout. It's gonna be some protesting.
I was thinking, damn, is Shiloh gonna go before him?
Exactly. I was confused.
I was thinking Shiloh would be like
been
a
confused.
5th, 6th, 7th round pick. I expect Shedeur to be a 5th round pick.
I mean, oh my God. Well, before we get into that, let's give a shout out to Cam Ward, San Antonio alum.
Oh yeah, and Carnet Word, baby, right here.
Carnet Word.
Yeah. 2 years in the Carnet Word. Can you believe that, man? That dude was a no star coming out of high school. Had to go all the way down.
That's the part that scares me. 0 stars. And you become a star somehow. I'm not sure if that's ever happened in life.
What about I mean, do you really believe in these star ratings, man? Because remember when Travis Hunter was a 5-star coming out of high school, but as soon as he signed with Jackson State, he became a 4-star. How do you lose a star based on the school you signed with?
HBCU.
I know, but I'm saying, what does the star mean? Like, he didn't play a game, he lost a star.
Because he didn't sign D1.
I know, but that shouldn't make you lose your star. You still perform. So
well, as we know, he's a 2nd overall pick. And he was a Heisman Trophy 2-year player. Best in the NCAA. I mean, 4 stars.
They give up a lot to go get him, so you tell you his value right there.
Well, they wasn't very smart to go get him like that, but I do agree that anybody should try to trade up to go get Travis. I mean, he's crazy. I don't even know how we gonna discuss that. What position he's playing?
Well, like I said, when they got the call, he spoke to the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator, so that tells you something right there.
I think with Travis Hunter, I think he's gonna do excellent at juggling it. I just don't think he will be able to practice as hard as he needs to be on both sides of the ball. He can play hard on both sides of the ball on Sundays, but at practice, man, you're going to be running five drills with the offense, and then you got to go jump on defense after you done ran 5 go balls. He ain't going to be able to practice as hard without having hamstring issues and tightness.
Well, you got to think about this, though, man. He performed both ways, playing in that high-ass elevation in Colorado. You remember the first year how they run those stadiums? He's
Yeah.
doing that at high
Yeah.
altitude, and he did all that in that altitude, man. I mean,
I feel like
doing
it's
it
going to
for
be, his conditioning is there. I just don't think practice is going to be there because he didn't practice at Cleveland. I mean, at Colorado.
well, I mean, they're probably the same approach. He got Mondays and Tuesdays off. He didn't practice till Wednesday.
Yeah.
Colorado.
It's just, I just feel like it's going to be harder in the NFL to short yourself on practice when you need reps as a rookie. I mean, if he was like a second year, third year vet, it would be something different. I mean, he understands the game. But that being said, I think Travis is, one of those one in a lifetime unicorn type players. So we'll see.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, let's talk about day one of the draft.
Man, sitting there watching that draft, man, I thought for sure that he was going. Now, like the video I made, I thought that he may get down to 21, and for sure he would go at 21. I thought for sure he'd go at 21. I was shocked that he didn't go to the Saints, knowing that Derek Carr might have played his last game last year as a Saint.
Not to make a joke, but do you think he got that Cleveland hat for the first round or the fifth round?
To be honest, man, he probably had all 32 hats.
He probably had all 32 of them.
But
And he waiting on that.
I think he had the top three for sure. And then he probably had a Saints hat and a Steeler hat.
Everybody
He
needed a quarterback. Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, I think
Everybody that
needed
needed
a quarterback, he had their hat for the first round. And after that, dog, he probably had to call Amazon and have such a delivery. He delivered 27 more hats.
Yeah, you right about that? Oh my God. So what do you think?
Point, I don't know.
What do you think he was thinking whenever the Steelers?
He probably had some UFL hats delivered too, though.
He better not have, man. You can't go from confident to.
He got that Barnstormer hat.
That's that Johnny Manziel stuff. Let Johnny Manziel stay down there in the UFL.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I can imagine the emotion, man, because being a fan of Well Off Media, I saw the big old gigantic setup they had set up. Look like little white houses on the property, dog.
Yeah.
Talking about they had it all catered, lots of people. Man, that's a lot of money you drop, dog. I mean, Prime had to be like, damn, it's kind of embarrassing. But I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think Well Off Media, or not even Well Off Media, but Shedur's entourage is one of the reasons why he slid in the draft outside of gameplay?
I mean, I definitely think you have to be nervous, man, because you hear things like, is he serious about football, or is he more serious about being a YouTuber and a reality TV star? I mean, the man's got a camera crew following him around everywhere he goes. He's got his brother. Sometimes he got Darius. He's got people filming for his podcast. His two, I remember what this show is called, two legendary podcasts. So, I mean, you get a lot, with him, and I don't know a lot of teams were ready for that.
I mean, you can take it back to Micah Parsons. He's performing on the field. He's in motion shape, but he has a podcast. This is the new day and age. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, just because it wasn't like that in the past is because we didn't have social media in the past. So nowadays, people have their own brands, and Shedeur been having his own brand since he was a kid. So he could not expect just to go to the NFL because he's a Sanders. So he had to build up his own brand, just like his brothers.
I think look at that. Parsons has a podcast, but Shedeur got a reality show. He got the cameras with him everywhere. I bet every single team.
He been on a podcast, Johnny, since his daddy had a podcast. I mean, his daddy had a reality show.
Real quick.
Yeah, I got you. See, Shedeur was a little baby on his daddy's reality TV show back in the day. Him and Shiloh, they was little kids, so they grew up like that.
I think having a podcast is one thing, but having cameras and stuff follow you everywhere you go, get off the plane, getting on the plane, walking through hotels, walking through, at the restaurant you at that day. I mean, we all know that he puts in the work.
Yeah, we also like to see behind the scenes.
A lot of teams ain't ready for the optics. You know, we know he puts in the work. We know he studies. We know he does all that stuff. Hell, he studies with Tom Brady. They do film breakdown. You know, so you know, I mean, if that's what everybody, I mean, I feel it was a humbling thing for him. I think the NFL people tried to deny it, but I think the NFL tried to humble him. Right?
I don't disagree with you about the humbling thing. Hold on, I'm plugging in real quick. The humbling thing, but you ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to treat nobody like that.
They're not come out and admit it, man. But on no one's board, did they have him ranked as the 200 and whatever player in the draft, dog. You can't tell me any team had him ranked that low on their board.
I mean, think about it. Tom Brady was ranked way down there. So that's where he went. He wasn't ranked high. Shedeur was ranked second out of all quarterbacks and like 35th of all players in the draft.
But we don't know what went on those team meetings. We don't know. I mean, those workouts. I mean, I think what hurt him most, man, was not working out. Thinking that
I don't disagree.
I'm solidified. My status is solidified. No, it wasn't. The people who passed him were the ones who worked out. Jackson Dart was. They kept saying Jackson Dart's stock is rising because NFL coaches and GMs are at the Senior Bowls, where Shedeur didn't work out.
Did he not work out with the Giants?
He had private workouts.
Yeah,
but that was it.
And that, how in the world did that change things?
I mean, but then those right workouts you also were interviewing. So, I mean, if he walks up in there, how you doing, Coach Dable? This is my director, my producer, and my cameraman. You know, they all walking down the hallways of the facility. You know, with their cameras and holding lights and stuff, dog. I mean,
did we see the tape?
I don't know if that's
because I don't know if he brought him with him, like not in the interview.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't, but I mean, when they start posting that stuff, they start posting it before they leave town, or posting it before the interview. And they see all the, you know, it's like, what is this, man? You business, or you here to, you know, be a professional YouTuber? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on both sides of the fence. I don't disagree with him and his brand, but I also understand where they're coming from because I like professionalism. And if I was Shedeur in this case, and during this time before I get drafted, it's not like I'm changing up, but I'm gonna settle down on that so that I can let them see I'm focused on football only. Because that's gonna come later. Either way, I'm about to be rich regardless. So my brand and my media brand, it is what it is after this.
And remember what happened what started AB's rocket situation, you know, with Pittsburgh. He was Instagramming live from the team locker room. You know what I'm saying?
No.
After he was
Johnny,
to do that no more.
Tell him the truth, Johnny. Tell him the truth. You know what happened to AB?
I know. I mean,
come on.
That Burfitt hit. I mean, knocked the bejesus out of him, though.
He gone. He was gone after that day. He ready to post dick pics.
He got instant CTE
immediately.
Usually you build up on it over time.
He got such a bad CTE. He thought he could rap. I mean, have you heard his album? Come on, dog.
I don't even try it. I just heard
people. He the worst of the worst trying to rap.
And then, like I said, then they started doing all that damn Facebook, Instagram living from the locker room, and you know, so I know Shedeur wouldn't do nothing like that live from the locker room, especially when the coach is talking.
You know? Oh, I don't think so. That's why I said it shouldn't be something that affect him.
It's got the history of you know. I mean, people think about that stuff, man. So I think that kind of hindered him. You know.
You think they got turned off?
Yeah, we'll never know because the owners ain't gonna come out and say it. The GMs ain't gonna come out and say it.
But turned off all the way to the 5th round. I mean, come on. The Steelers don't even have a quarterback.
Ryan Clark said it the best, dog. You know, he gave them a B for their pick in the 1st round. I give him a B because you know it was a good pick. The guy, the defense tackle they got because well, Hayward's getting older. You know, they had to draft his successor. You know what I mean? I understand that, but like he said, you're gonna go into a season where you haven't won a playoff game in what 9 years?
It's been since
you didn't want to play.
They got beat by Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, but
9
so
years.
they didn't want to play a game in like 9 years or something like that. And you good going into the season with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson?
I don't think anybody is. But I'll throw this other theory out there. Do you think they're worried about what Deion's going to say at the practice, or if he may show up at anything?
Deion is the NFL starts the same time college is going on. Deion gonna be in Boulder, dog, coaching his team.
I mean, that's what everybody wants to think.
It's a week after this college football starts, the NFL starts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. But Daddy's still Daddy. He'll find a way.
Well, I mean that could be part of it too. I mean, there's a lot of different things, man. Sometimes they hurt themselves, man, through all the, maybe they wanted to humble Deion for going around saying, "I'll guarantee you." I remember last year he was saying Shiloh was going to go soon.
No, he was being silly. Yeah, the thing he said that was crazy was, "I'm gonna pick where I'm gonna be the one that decides where my son goes to play." I think he was right to take that back, and when he did.
I agree. All that's a factor, man. I mean, there's so many different things that you can attribute this whole thing to the slide. There's so many things. I mean, it's just probably a combination of all of them. There's not gonna be just one. It's gonna be a combination of all of them. And when you get to that point, man, he should have just been about it. And that's it.
I know that. I agree with you because I'm about it.
Tell the owners, look, I've done all this while I was in college. It helped the brand. Help me with my marketing and all my NIL stuff. But once I get here, that's over. I don't know if he said that kind of stuff in interviews, or hey, my dad don't make me. I'm me. I'm the person. I'm the person y'all drafting. Not drafting my dad. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of different things, man, that he could maybe made clear in the interview that he didn't.
I really want to know how he interviewed, because my dad taught me how to interview. So unless Deion didn't teach him how to interview, or nobody taught him how to interview, there's no way you can tell me he was a bad interview like that anonymous person said. You heard that story, right?
Yeah. From
one of the executives said he was like the worst interviewer that he's ever heard or whatever.
Yeah.
Is he talking about the way he talks or what he was saying? Because Adrian Peterson couldn't talk. Trust me, I was around. He had to go to speech therapy to figure out how to speak English the right way. But that didn't make him a crazy person. It's just he was from the South. He didn't know how to enunciate and get his words right. And he smoked a lot of, don't tell nobody. That brain killer.
I mean, man. I mean, it's just hard, man. I was like, I thought for sure he'd go to, day 2. I mean, I was like, man.
I mean, Cleveland had 2 picks back to back.
And I mean, once again, they load up on defense. Now, they had a good defense all year long, and then they get to that game where the last 5 games they started getting up a lot of points. But it wasn't because the defense was playing bad. Because the offense wasn't sustaining no damn drives.
Interceptions.
Russell Wilson just collapsed, and they should have.
Oh, you're talking about the Steelers?
Yeah, Steelers. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about the Bears.
I'm just going back to when Steelers could have took a quarterback. When they kept drafting defense. I say defense wasn't the reason why they collapsed down the stretch. Defense ain't the reason why they collapsed. It was because the offense couldn't sustain no drives. I mean, the offense got stagnant during that last 5-game stretch of the season.
But the last 5 games, the biggest reason was George Pickens wasn't there. So
yeah, I mean, he kind of disappeared a little bit, but it's not hard to scheme one player when you ain't got nobody else.
Yeah, you're right.
Calvin Austin. Who?
Van Jefferson. We all know how our fantasy looked with Van Jefferson on the team.
Like, you can do all you want to, but when you get down to the stretch, we can scheme this guy. They ain't got nobody else. We can scheme him and fire move. We ain't got to worry about no damn second and third receiver on their squad. You know what I'm saying? And then like you telling me, what was Najee Harris talking about?
Najee Harris was talking about they didn't have no game plan. They had no identity in Pittsburgh. Like, at least if he's going to a team like the Chargers where they have an identity and they run the ball, I mean, that is what it is.
So, like I said, one thing is, I mean, I don't think like I go back to like what Nia Kimes was saying, and even RC and others, they're saying like Pittsburgh wouldn't have been the right fit because Shedeur ain't built for Arthur Smith offense. That's not his game.
I mean, it depends on what type of Arthur Smith offense you want, because I've seen Shadur Sanders score rushing touchdowns left and right. So he can run the ball if he wants to. And if he's stronger, if he gets stronger over the summer, I mean, throughout the spring and over the summer, he can be even faster than he was in college. And we all know Patrick Mahomes, like I said, he ain't fast. 4'7", 4'8", still can run away from people.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand that. The running comparison doesn't make any sense to me. They balls, they tripping.
The run is natural. Pat Mahomes doesn't have no RPO game. He just like, if he got a leg, he gonna take it.
Yeah. And that's all you need.
You ain't gotta run a 4-3 when the closest defender is 15 yards up the field.
Exactly. Unless you're Kirk Cousins.
Even if you run to him, you still gonna get 10 yards.
Unless you're Kirk Cousins. Or Matt Ryan, Tom Brady. I've only seen Tom Brady run and get a first down 2 times.
Yeah. I was like, that get twisted though. I've never seen Pat Mahomes on the snap roll out and take off.
Nah. His arm's too good. He beat you with his arm.
When he takes off, it's because everybody's covered. And he's like, wait a minute.
Ain't nobody in front of me.
Close the defender 25 yards back.
Yeah, he's like, let me wiggle my way all the way up there. 4'8". I was like, boy, you slow.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, and good thing is, man, it's not, I know he wanted to go higher, but the situation he's in, I think he can easily go win that job, man. I mean, there's not.
I think he is going to win the job.
42-year-old Joe Flacco and Gabriel wasn't ranked better, higher than him. I'm not even sure why they.
I think, what's the coach's name? Stefanski? Kevin Stefanski? He's going to see that Shadur Sanders is the best quarterback on that team. And he's probably going to be the most accurate, So this is what the point I wanted to bring up if I was talking on sports radio about Shadur Sanders. The difference between him in college and him in the pros is going to be, he literally was handicapped the whole time he was at Colorado. He did not have Alabama's offensive line, Ohio State's offensive line, their running backs they had, the wide receivers they had. When he goes to the pros, everything's going to be equal. He going to have, even if he has a bad offensive line, his offensive line is still going to be way better than what he played with in college. So the sacks are going to go down, and he's going to have more precise wide receivers running routes that are elite. Jerry Jeudy coming back into his own, Elijah Moore, and then the dudes that he drafted this week, they're going to have those people. He ain't going to have Travis and Jimmy Horn barely. Like, he was barely good, like good enough. He was not like any of them boys from Alabama that old boy was throwing to, and he only could throw 22 touchdowns at Alabama. So I think I don't care where he's at. It's going to be so much better, and they're going to find out Shadur Sanders probably should have went way higher in the draft, and they shouldn't be trying to punish him.
I mean,
Drop his dreams.
They're going to know Ricky minicamp because
immediately
they're going to be there together.
All about this.
They're going to be there with Gil and Gabriel and him. They both going to be there at the same time. I mean, who grasps the playbook faster through minicamp? Looks better through Ricky minicamp. And then from there, they're going to get a gauge of, how's he going to look. I mean,
now I will say this: Dylan Gabriel, he coming from my old spot, OU, and then he moved off to Oregon. He's not bad at quarterback, so he had to follow behind Caleb Williams and figure that thing out. So I still think watching tape,
Gabriel was ranked like the 5th or 6th quarterback on most people's
boards.
Well, even all the analysts' boards.
Yeah, I just don't think Dylan had to go through. I'm telling you, put Shadur Sanders on OU. You crazy.
Well, put him on Oregon.
Yeah, put him on Oregon. Like, oh my God, 5,000 yards, 45 touchdowns. He almost did that with just Travis Hunter
No, goodness,
and
man.
no run game.
No offense line. No, yeah. The leading rusher for Colorado last year had 330 yards. I think it was. He said.
And Shedeur had all of them minus all his sacks.
I mean, yeah, he rushed for 400 and got sacked for 298.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's what happens when you're playing with. I mean, it was like the movie me and my kids watched today, The Little Giants. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
The Cowboys versus the Giants, and Shedeur was playing with the Little Giants. And they can't catch the ball, they can't run the ball, they can't block, they can't tackle. He only had 5 teammates, and when the other team had 100, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I don't get it.
You can't say he's not leader. He never threw the team under the bus, though. Never threw his lineman under the bus. You know, he was getting
He
crushed
stayed
up.
positive.
The man shows that he's one of the toughest quarterbacks out there because, I mean, all that abuse and banging around, he only missed the last game of the year, year before last.
Yeah, and think about this.
Because he was getting, I mean, I'm surprised he made that far in the season that he had missed the last game.
I mean, but at the end of the day, he's out there like on Colorado he knows a weak offense, and he don't quit. He don't quit at all. So, and all the scouts know that. All the reporters, all the newscasters, they all said that. That's why that's why Mel Kiper was like, it's kind of disgusting that he fell out of the 3rd and 4th round.
Yeah.
Let alone the 1st and 2nd. And that's why I was like, when Cleveland took him, I was like, ugh. I was like, you had 5 more picks. You could have picked him earlier. Why pick him so late? Just to make him a 5th round draft pick and teach him a lesson? So he can come into the locker room and be a 5th round draft pick instead of a 1st round draft pick?
I mean, you don't know if all the rumors are true. Like I say, I'm just speaking. But there's something to it, man. I mean, even if you didn't think he was didn't think he was a 1st round talent, he's not a 5th round talent.
No,
he's not a 5th round.
And but this is why. So, okay, everybody, y'all can't say racist. Okay, you can put it in the comments all you want, but you can't say racism because Cam Ward black. Okay, all these blacks, they went in the draft. Okay, these GMs ain't racist, but with Shadur Sanders' talent level and his off the field antics, he didn't kill nobody in no car crash. He wasn't beating up no girl, which is most of the time when you slide in the draft is when you get caught doing something or you get arrested. He ain't doing none of that. He just has his media team.
Didn't get slammed to the pavement like Baker Mayfield by the cops. He tried to run.
I forgot all about that. You right. And then what did Baker Mayfield? They said, I love his attitude. I love his cockiness, his arrogance. Yep. And then what do? Go number 1.
So yeah, it's and then they like they were saying they said he's brash and this and cocky and with the goal and he goes, did y'all not watch the 1st round? Everybody had on goal. Everybody was cocky. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man.
That's why you can't use that as an excuse. That's what I was trying to say.
Cam Ward, Cam Ward, I don't know if that's how Cam Ward is, but Cam Ward stated Cam Ward didn't have no, I don't know how much his suit cost, but he looked like he just had on a blazer, button up with no tie, no gold, no diamonds.
Stuff was tucked in.
It was just all business. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm like that, Johnny. I'm going to be honest.
He wasn't trying to have no juice out there. He wasn't trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if he even owns a chain with diamonds on it.
If he don't,
you know what I'm saying?
As soon as he go over there to Tennessee, they gonna put a grill in his mouth.
And then when he showed up to the facility, he wearing slacks, a blazer, and a button up when he showed up at the facility.
But think about it, Johnny.
Travis showed up looking like he ready to go to Travis. Travis is a fool, though.
Yeah, whenever
That dude,
everybody's
Anthony
different.
Gardner, yeah, he ain't got the gold on, the big gold chain, but he just, I don't know, he just loves life, dog. So I guess that's the difference.
If you see your
Travis the
dad,
fool. Travis got a reality show. He got his own podcast.
yeah,
He got his
he
own
be on
channel.
social media all the
That
time.
channel, he got a channel with his girl.
Bad decision.
If these are the cases, that Shadur brings a lot to the table with all that stuff. What about Travis? I watch his podcast every time he puts an episode out.
Think about this though. Why would New York pass up on him when that's a media capital? They brought LeBron James to LA for that.
New York, they were in love with Jackson Dart, dog. They were in love with him because like Brian Dable comes from Buffalo, and Brian Dable himself kept saying that Jackson Dart reminds him of
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. He kept saying it. And
You seen the tape.
6'5", he's 6'5", 220 something, and can move.
But you seen the tape. Josh Allen can throw a football through a brick wall. Jackson Dart can't. Josh Allen at Wyoming would run circles around Jackson Dart. Yeah, and now Josh Allen in the pros would stiff arm his ass.
Josh Allen took a lot of work, dog. Josh Allen was like a 50-something% completion percentage quarterback when he first came into the league. You know what I'm saying? He worked his butt off.
I get it.
With coaches and everything off season. He had quarterback coaches in the off seasons to get his accuracy right. You know what I'm saying? He did all that. He put the work in.
It's possible if you want to put the work in, but I'm gonna say this. I think the coach from Colorado messed up Shedur's draft style, saying his comp was Daniel Jones. He said he reminds me of Daniel Jones. Who wants to be reminded of a quarterback who got kicked off his team because he sucks? Why would I want to be? He reminded me of Daniel Jones because it's the old boy that was coaching that New York on Daniel Jones' rookie year. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But look at this though. I think the difference between Daniel Jones is that when he got that contract, he had a great year that year. They gave him that contract.
Did he?
Dude, he had like what 600 yards rushing or some crap.
600 yards rushing, 20-some touchdowns, and like a low amount of picks, but only like 2,200 yards.
So his second year, he comes back. The first year of that contract, he gets hurt. Okay, gets hurt and misses a lot of the season. Has that surgery and stuff, everything like that. Comes back in his second year of that contract. No Saquon Barkley. A worse offensive line. I mean, I'm just saying, dog. I mean, is he really that bad?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna see.
We saw when he came back.
Y'all, all our subscribers, y'all are gonna hear it right here, right now. Daniel Jones beats out Anthony Richardson for that starting job in Indianapolis.
If he does,
I'm standing right here. I'm standing right now.
Indianapolis is gonna be losing some games, man.
Alec Pierce is gonna be the leading receiver on that team this year.
You had to make my stomach hurt.
I tell you,
crazy.
Look at last year's stats. If you can cue them up, let me see. Who was the leading receiver last year on that team? They had Pittman. We all know Pittman. He's trying to pull a Debo, dog.
He's trying to move on.
He got his cake too.
You don't like playing with non-quarterbacks. He definitely don't want to play with Daniel Jones.
But he got his cake and his magic on too. He was a magician before Debo. I mean, he got
his top hat on.
Yeah, I mean, he making rabbits, pulling rabbits out. He ain't pulling no touchdowns out of that hat, pulling out rabbits.
I mean, how you gonna pull a touchdown out when you can't get a pass over 10 yards?
Pittman, I think Pittman's done
altogether.
Like, man, Pittman signed that contract, and last year he put up 800 yards after signing that damn contract.
I mean, he's checked out, man. I mean, it's hard to be a receiver when you got nobody.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pierce had over 900 receiving yards last year.
I think
Josh Downs had about 800.
I think if Anthony Richardson lets Daniel Jones beat him out at quarterback.
And then before that, he let Gardner Minshew beat him out. Well,
no.
He came back from the injury, and they're like,
yeah, they ran him into the wall, and then he didn't know he had a concussion, and he was concussed. So
I respect his talent, but because he threw the ball and hit the ceiling, I got him number 1 overall. I mean, I go back to the Bill Parcells.
I mean, think about it, Johnny.
Bill Parcells said
Shedeur Sanders is better than him, and he got drafted in the 5th round.
Yeah, I'm kind of being old school a little bit. Like Bill Parcells said, he don't draft no quarterback that didn't play 4 years in college, that didn't start 4 years in college.
I don't disagree.
Because you get all the games. Anthony Richardson started 1 season.
Yeah, I don't agree with any quarterback that played like Zach Wilson 1 year, Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson. Yeah. When you only got 1 year, when you got like a Brock Purdy who played all his seasons, you got Dylan Gabriel.
He's a perfect Bill Parcells quarterback in college. Started all 4 years.
Yeah. I was at the Army All-American Bowl, whatever the bowl is here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
When it was Iowa State versus maybe Iowa or somebody, whoever it was, Texas maybe, I'm not sure. But I saw Brock Purdy and Breece Hall live in person, and I was impressed with both of them pretty much, especially Breece. Whenever he was like a sophomore. But I mean, I don't disagree. I'm old school too. I'm right there with you. But at the end of the day, Anthony Richardson, just all he has to do is grow up and train, and he should beat Daniel Jones out.
I ain't trying to knock him, dog, but I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's his 3rd year.
It comes
what Patrick Mahomes say. Took him 3 years to be able to read a defense.
Yeah, I understand that, but Patrick Mahomes started 4 years, all these years at Texas Tech.
You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that.
When you see more, you can identify more. When you see more. You see 4 years of football action, you're gonna identify stuff. You're gonna catch on. But when you only started 1 year,
yeah, I don't know. That's the dilemma. But I'm still hurt by Pittsburgh.
Look how good Bo Nix rookie year was.
And he got the right coach.
He played 6 years of college football.
Yeah, that should be enough. Should be enough to learn how to play football.
He started 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, he looked really good at Oregon too. Shoot. I mean, he did his thing.
Early in his career, the Auburn years didn't work out.
Yeah, but that was his early years.
He started in Auburn. That's where, it's a family legacy. His dad went there, everything. The legacy is Auburn, but it didn't work out for him at Auburn. So he got in the transfer portal, not because, I don't think because he wanted to, because he was basically told.
He got benched, or not benched, but like somebody else came in.
You got the guy. You're not the guy. So he went to Oregon and made himself. But Shedeur, he said he's in a great spot, man. He lost out on $20-some-odd million, but hey,
don't need it. You don't need it.
It's kind of bad when your NIL money was in 1 year was more than what you're gonna make in 3 years. And you first into a contract.
I'll say this. I'll make a prediction about Pittsburgh. The reason why they didn't take him, because I know Mike Tomlin would have took him. I think, and this is bad on Pittsburgh, but I think Aaron Rodgers told them, "I'm coming."
Oh, yeah.
As long as you don't draft Shadur, just don't draft a quarterback right behind me. Just let me be there, because I don't know if I want to play more than 1 year.
They took Will Howard right after Shedeur came off the board. I think they probably wanted Shedeur.
It's like taking Jalen Monroe.
I think they wanted him at the fifth round.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
that's why old boy and them traded up.
Cleveland came up 10 spots to get him.
Yeah, they came up, but Cleveland didn't have to come up.
But I don't know, dog.
They could have got him in the 4th round.
They were saying that Philly was going to continue their trend of drafting a backup quarterback. They got somebody already in place.
I mean, it's because Howie's smart.
Howie is smart. Right after they gave Carson Wentz all that money. They gave a 25-year-old Carson Wentz all this money, and they drafted Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round.
Said, get out of here.
They went out last year. Philly went out and traded for Kenny Pickett.
Well,
the backup.
you know why? Because Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts looks cheap now. $52 million. He signed the first contract. He signed the earliest contract. That got 60 now. $8 million more a year. Jalen already in 2 years. I mean, a year or so into his contract already. 3 years left. So he's cheap.
I mean, he wasn't cheap. He just got his money when it was his turn.
Yeah.
After he got his money, about 6 more quarterbacks got paid.
And then they got
You know what I'm saying?
more money.
Yeah, that's why Brock Purdy's sitting there like, nah, dog, I ain't taking this 50. The last guy got 60. I ain't taking 50.
If Brock Purdy was Tom Brady, he would take it.
But Brock Purdy knows, he's like, all right, well, y'all go ahead and go with Mac Jones then. Go ahead and sit over here. Let me know when y'all ready to be serious.
Did they pick up Mac Jones?
They got Mac Jones, dog.
The one that they should have. The one that they. So they just getting rid of their mistakes because they should have got Mac Jones instead of Trey Lance the first time. They wouldn't even be in this Brock Purdy situation.
No, they got Mac Jones. Nobody wants him.
No, but I'm just saying they just rewind the clock. They wanted Mac Jones in the draft.
They needed somebody. They didn't have no backup quarterback.
And somebody was in Shanahan's ear talking about Trey Lance is fast. And he got a rocket arm. But he's more like Anthony Richardson. Can't read defenses.
I'm telling you, Dan Jones gonna look good, though. I'm telling you, he gonna look good. He gonna fool all of y'all. He got a running game. He got better receivers. Who do you have the last couple of years? Who they have over the last couple of years?
He had nobody.
Darius Slayton was their best receiver.
He had nobody.
He didn't get to play with Malik Neighbors. Well, he did, but no offensive line, no running game.
I mean, the Saquon Barkley killed Daniel Jones. I can agree with you. Saquon Barkley leaving.
Offensive line wasn't as good. Offensive line wasn't as good as it was the year that Daniel Jones played well and got that money. Want the same offensive line in front of him.
I agree. Well, Johnny, he got drafted. That's all I can say.
I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm telling you right now, Shedeur, I'll make another prediction, another bold prediction on the Last Call podcast. Shadur gonna win that job, though.
Definitely. As soon as he get over there.
Now, Kenny Pickett don't win that job. Something's wrong there. Kenny Pickett should win that job. Should.
I mean, as somebody who had him on his team in fantasy, I have rooted for Kenny Pickett to do well. But I don't know, man. I think the coach is good enough.
He did well in Jalen Hurts' absence.
Yeah, I think the coach is good enough to help Kenny Pickett be great. But if that's the case, then Shedeur ain't starting this year, which is fine. It's just like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think he should win this job, man. But we'll wait and see. But he got drafted. Everybody's everybody in the family's happy. Everything is right with the
Lord.
So anyway, let's wait and see, man.
Yeah, hit the comments up and let us know what you think about the Shedeur Sanders slot. Let us know if you want it to be, if you think it was the right thing for these NFL execs to punish the kid, or if there's something deeper that we don't know about.
They will never know. So if you guys heard anything, we love to hear y'all's conspiracy theories. We'll go ahead and talk about them on next episode. Read some of y'all's comments. So comment, let us know what you guys think. Leads to. All right, guys, that's it for the Last Call podcast. Once again, we'll be bringing you the latest in sports news and entertainment, not always in that order, not always on the same show. Stay tuned for our next video. We got some hidden stuff coming for you guys, so
yes,
stay tuned.
All right, peace.